I step on something, and I think it's just a crumb or I don't know, anything that could be on a kitchen floor, other than one of the most painful hornets in the world. But of course it had to be the hornet instead of, like, you know, anything else that exists. Hey everyone, I'd like to welcome you to another episode in the seemingly never-ending saga called Patricia's Encounters with Southeast Asian Wildlife. Some of you may have already seen my video describing my encounter with a stingray in Thailand. This time, instead of a sea creature, because we want like as much variety as possible, I had the pleasure of stepping on an insect called Vespa tropica, or the greater banded hornet. Maybe you have no idea what a hornet is or the difference between a hornet and other flying insects like bees or wasps. So I have done a lot of research. Let me share with you a little bit about these marvelously painful creatures. So hornet stings. They are significantly more painful than bee or wasp stings. That is because they have a nice mixture of all kinds of things, including proteins, peptides, enzymes, neurotransmitters. One thing that's specific about a hornet's sting and its venom is the amount of acetylcholine present. Although it is found in our bodies, in hornet venom, it is stimulating our pain receptors. It heightens our perception of the pain. So basically, it makes a painful sting a lot more painful. Cytotoxic enzymes. They dissolve our cell proteins to allow the venom to further and more deeply penetrate the surrounding tissues. Great, gotta get it all covered. One person describes the hornet sting as white hot nails being driven into their flesh for about 9 hours. Yet someone else describes this sting as being stabbed by a thick, sharpened electrical wire. It was a regular, nice, beautiful, sunny day in Cambodia at the eco resort where I was volunteering on this island. Also pretty abandoned, pretty isolated. I guess I have a thing for, you know, when danger strikes, it's difficult to get help around. This island, I mean, to get off of it, it would be a 3-hour boat ride by slow boat to the mainland, where any form of hospital would be. I was walking into the kitchen barefoot like any other morning when I step on something, and I think it's just a crumb or I don't know, anything that could be on a kitchen floor, you know, anything except a giant hornet. But yeah, it was a giant hornet, so what can I say? And the very important and key thing here is that it was my left foot, and I'll tell you why this is important, because if you're watching my previous video about being stung by the stingray, I stepped on the stingray with my right foot. The universe is trying to balance it out a little bit for me, get stung by one animal on one foot and a different creature on the other, trying to have the best of both worlds, sea creatures, flying insects, you know, I don't know what's next. Probably, I'm in Romania right now, and it has 55% of Europe's bear population. We'll see what happens. What do I have going for me in the land animal or mammal department? Don't want to think about it, so we'll get back to the hornet right now. After I stepped on it, everything kind of went downhill from there. Also me, I was like dropped my plate with my half-eaten pancake on the floor. Oh my god. It was gone, and I was more upset about that. But then when the pain set in, I realized that was the least of my worries. I don't know how many times I got stung because it was just on my foot until I realized it wasn't a crumb, and I lifted my foot up so it could have injected as much venom as possible, because of course hornets don't lose their stinger. After falling over, I went and sat down. Everybody gathered around me because I'm screaming, yeah, crying, you know, all that stuff. And they were saying, what happened? What happened? I said, I stepped on something. It was a big black insect with one red-orange stripe across its abdomen. No one had any idea what it was, as usual. Not even the Cambodian locals. My foot began to swell up a lot, very, very large. And it continued to swell for the next 12 hours until it got to its maximum size, and it stayed at that maximum size for about 3 days, and everybody called me sausage foot to try to lighten the mood a little bit. People were bringing me ice, cold water, nothing helped, absolutely nothing. I was describing it to people as stepping on something hot, something burning, something searing through my flesh, and it didn't go away. It only got worse. Maximum pain level was probably 3 hours after I got stung, which I'm like, great, you know, you expect things to get better or your body to get more used to them, but it got worse and worse. I barely walked once to the bathroom, and I was crying the whole time, and then I was just sitting on the toilet long after I finished because I just didn't want to get up and start walking again. I wished like I had a wheelchair or something. I didn't even know that level of pain could possibly exist, and oh my god, I hope nobody ever experiences that. If I have to pick between the stingray and the hornet, I would rather get stung by a stingray, I mean of the same size, like a stinger like this, 20 more times rather than get stung one more time by that hornet. I was in so much pain and delusional enough that I wrote a little paragraph in my iPhone, and it's pretty dramatic. I described 3 types of pain. Number 1, a tingling, burning pain. Number 2, I recognized there was a dull, constant throbbing pain. And number 3, there were sharp, quick bursts of localized pain. And then 5 hours into the sting, I wrote a little summary because I kind of don't remember writing it, but here it is. So I begin with agonizing, just one word. Select the poem title. All the things I would rather have happen other than this. Dramatic. Including killing myself. Oh my god. So brutal and constant. I think of 100 things I would rather have happen other than this. I literally just said the same words 2 sentences ago, so I think I was really out of it. Of course I don't, because I cannot think about anything but the pain. It never goes away. I cannot do anything for relief. I lie and wait. Hours on end, nothing happens. Ready for this line, guys. The pain has become part of me. We are one. That's my story. I hope you got some humor out of it, and stay tuned. Stay on the lookout for hornets. Make sure to watch my stingray reflection story time video if you want to hear about that experience. I really hope I don't have any more wildlife experiences, but who knows? So I'd say just subscribe down below and stay tuned because anything can happen in this world. Stay safe out there when traveling, guys. Thanks for watching.